Imagine for a moment the ancient world. What colors fill your mind's eye? For most, it is a landscape of stark, sun-bleached stone, of gleaming white marble under an indifferent sky, a muted sepia photograph frozen in time. But what if this vision, deeply ingrained in our collective consciousness, is fundamentally flawed? What if the past was not a monochromatic tableau, but an explosion of dazzling hues, a spectrum far richer and more vibrant than we can possibly imagine? On Echoes of Time, we delve into the forgotten pages of history to unearth the true spectrum of antiquity, peeling back centuries of misconception to reveal a polychromatic brilliance that once defined civilizations. This is a journey that promises to challenge everything you thought you knew about the world our ancestors inhabited. For generations, art historians, archaeologists, and curious minds alike have grappled with a perplexing absence, the striking lack of color on the iconic ancient artifacts that have survived the ravages of time. We picture the Parthenon's pristine statues, the stoic facades of Roman temples, and the grand architectural marvels of bygone eras, all in a uniform stately white. This pervasive notion of ancient Greece in particular, as a realm of gleaming white marble, gained considerable traction. It shaped our artistic interpretations, informed our historical narratives, and profoundly influenced public perception, solidifying an image of antiquity as a serene, almost austere landscape. It became the accepted truth, a visual shorthand for an entire epoch. Yet this monochromatic image was, in many ways, an accident of history and a product of profound oversight. Early excavations, often driven by different aesthetic sensibilities than our own, and frequently lacking the sophisticated tools we possess today, often overlooked the faint pigment traces that hinted at a vibrant past. These subtle remnants, barely visible to the naked eye, were deemed insignificant or simply missed. Or still, in a misguided pursuit of what was then considered purity, some of these invaluable artifacts were actively scrubbed clean, removing any perceived grime or discoloration. In doing so, vital clues about ancient aesthetics were inadvertently stripped away, erasing the very evidence that could have told a different story. The desire for a clean, unadorned surface, devoid of what was perceived as decaying embellishment, tragically solidified a misinterpretation that would endure for centuries, cementing the myth of a monochrome past.
This image of a colorless past, however, was never universally accepted, nor was it entirely consistent with all the evidence available to earlier scholars. Whispers of vibrant paints persisted, not merely in the faint traces on stone, but within the very ancient texts themselves. These literary clues, often poetic and descriptive, spoke of temples adorned with brilliant colors, of statues with painted eyes and garments, hinting at a world far more colorful, more alive than the one preserved in popular imagination. Imagine the frustration: a stone record that spoke of absence, countered by a written record that sang of brilliance. It was a historical enigma, an unsolved enigma waiting for a new generation of investigators to delve deeper, to listen to these echoes of humanity's great history with fresh ears, and, crucially, with new eyes and new scientific capabilities. The turning point in this centuries-old mystery has come through the quiet revolution of modern scientific breakthroughs. We are now, finally, beginning to lift the veil on this lost chromatic world, a world obscured by time and human error. New, sophisticated techniques have emerged from the laboratories, giving archaeologists and art historians unprecedented capabilities to peer into the past without causing further damage to the precious artifacts.
These aren't destructive methods. Rather, they are meticulous, non-invasive approaches designed to detect the most ephemeral of historical remnants, allowing us to read the subtle language of surviving color. Among these pioneering techniques are UV-vis spectroscopy, a method that measures the absorption and reflection of light across the ultraviolet and visible spectrum, allowing researchers to identify specific pigment compounds based on their unique spectral fingerprints. This can reveal colors even when they are no longer visible to the human eye. Then there's X-ray fluorescence, which bombards surfaces with X-rays, causing the atoms within the material to emit secondary X-rays that are characteristic of specific chemical elements. This helps scientists identify the elemental composition of pigments, even those present in minute, almost atomic quantities. And finally, raking light photography, a simpler yet highly effective technique, involves shining light across a surface at a very low angle, dramatically enhancing any subtle topographical variations, including the microscopic remnants of pigments that might otherwise be completely invisible to the naked eye. These combined approaches are revealing microscopic remnants of pigments, sometimes no more than a few molecules thick, clinging tenaciously to the surfaces of what we once believed to be pristine, unpainted stone.
The revelation of these nearly invisible traces has profound implications for our understanding of ancient aesthetics. With these powerful tools, experts are no longer guessing. They are meticulously gathering data, point by point, color by color, with scientific precision. This data then allows them to digitally reconstruct the original appearance of statues, friezes, and architectural marvels with astonishing accuracy. Imagine witnessing the Parthenon, not as a gleaming white temple, but as a structure adorned with intricate patterns of blues, reds, yellows, and greens, its friezes vibrant with narrative. Picture the faces of ancient gods and heroes, not as blank marble, but with painted eyes, lips, and hair, their garments rendered in startling detail with rich, lifelike hues. These digital reconstructions are more than just academic exercises. They are profound portals, allowing us to glimpse the vibrant, living world that once existed, far removed from the muted images we have cherished for so long. They offer a tangible connection to the ancient past, allowing us to finally see what our ancestors saw. As the scientific evidence mounts, compelling new perspectives and theories have emerged, each offering a fascinating lens through which to view this recolored ancient world.
One perspective argues convincingly that these bold, sometimes even what our modern eyes might perceive as garish color palettes, were not merely decorative. They were far more than simple embellishment or frivolous adornment. Instead, they were deeply symbolic, a sophisticated visual language intended to communicate profound messages. Color, in antiquity, was a potent vehicle for conveying power, divinity, and social status. Imagine a statue of a god, its skin painted in a warm, lifelike hue, its robes in a brilliant, costly pigment like deep red or imperial purple. Such an image would have radiated authority and sacredness, instantly conveying the deity's dominion or an emperor's absolute power to an often illiterate populace. The intensity and specific choice of colors would have been immediately understood, a nonverbal sermon etched in stone and paint, a constant reminder of the societal hierarchy and the divine order, a direct communication of their worldview. Another compelling theory addresses the very mechanism by which the myth of monochrome took hold and persisted for so long. It suggests that the fading of organic pigments played a crucial role in creating this illusion.
Many of the vibrant colors used in antiquity were derived from natural sources, plants, insects, and certain minerals, and while stunning in their initial application, these organic pigments were inherently less stable and more perishable than the stone they adorned. Exposure to sunlight, rain, wind, and the relentless passage of centuries would have caused these easily perishable colors to vanish, gradually fading into obscurity, leaving only the more resilient, often unpainted stone beneath. Thus,
What we inherited was not a world that was always white, but a world that slowly, silently lost its color over millennia, leaving behind a misleadingly blank canvas. It's a tragic irony that the very vibrancy the ancients embraced ultimately led to its own undoing in the visible historical record, allowing a profound misinterpretation to take root. A third fascinating debate centers on the sheer intensity of these ancient colors, and a profound question arises. Can our modern eyes, accustomed to the subtle shades and nuanced palettes of contemporary art, truly grasp the visual impact of ancient polychromy? Today, we often associate bright, bold, and even overtly garish colors with popular culture, advertising, or children's media, often preferring a more restrained, understated aesthetic in our fine art and architecture.
But the ancient world was different. It was a world bathed in natural light, unpolluted by artificial illumination, where colors would have popped with an almost unbelievable vividness against the natural backdrop. The sensory experience of encountering a brightly painted temple, its sculptural friezes alive with color, would have been overwhelming, a spectacle designed to inspire awe, devotion, and perhaps even fear. Our modern sensibilities might find such intensity jarring, but for the ancients, it was likely breathtaking, a deliberate choice to maximize visual impact and express the divine or the powerful in the most striking way possible. This debate challenges us to transcend our own aesthetic biases and attempt to view the past through the eyes of those who lived it, acknowledging that their appreciation of color might have been entirely different from our own, revealing another layer to their untold stories. The implications of these discoveries are truly profound, extending far beyond the immediate realm of art history and archaeological restoration. They force us to reevaluate our entire understanding of ancient art, architecture, and perhaps most intriguingly, the daily lives of those who inhabited these vibrant landscapes. Imagine the marketplaces, the public squares, the private homes, not in muted tones, but alive with a riot of color, a constant sensory feast. How would this fundamental shift in visual perception alter our understanding of their rituals, their festivals, their social interactions, their sense of beauty? If their world was so vividly colored, how did they perceive status, the sacred, and the aesthetic? What did a specific shade of blue mean to them, or a particular red? These discoveries compel us to consider a more complex, more nuanced picture of ancient civilizations, one where color was not an afterthought, but an integral part of their worldview, their communication, and their very identity. This new understanding offers us a unique opportunity to better understand the present by truly seeing the past. This journey to unearth the true spectrum of antiquity is not just about correcting historical errors. It's about connecting with the human spirit across millennia. It's about recognizing the artistic choices, the symbolic language, and the sensory experiences that shaped entire civilizations. By challenging centuries of artistic convention and embracing the new scientific revelations, we are bringing the ancient world's forgotten colors back to life. This endeavor transforms our understanding of history from a static, monochrome image into a dynamic, breathtakingly colorful panorama. It reminds us that history is not a fixed, immutable narrative, but a living, breathing story, constantly evolving as new evidence comes to light, revealing more of humanity's great history. At Echoes of Time, we are dedicated to revealing the secrets that lie under the dust of centuries, and to telling the stories that never quite made it into the history books. From lost civilizations and unsolved enigmas to unknown heroes, we delve into the past to better understand the present. This quest to restore the lost colors of antiquity is a perfect embodiment of our mission, a discovery that resonates through the ages, truly an echo of humanity's great history. So as we close this chapter on the vibrant past,
pause for a moment, close your eyes, and then open them to a different ancient world. Can you see it now? Not as a bleached canvas, but as a masterpiece painted in the boldest, most brilliant hues shimmering under the Mediterranean sun. And what other forgotten colors, what other vibrant stories, what other hidden histories still lie waiting for us to uncover them, transforming our understanding of everything we thought we knew.